the record that fell. At the World Humanoid Robot Games in Beijing, a Chinese-built humanoid ran the 100 meters faster than any human ever has. Here's how it happened, and why it's not quite as simple as the headlines make it sound. For 17 years, Usain Bolt's 9.58-second 100-meter sprint from the 2009 World Championships in Berlin stood as the fastest a human has ever run. Before we get to the robot, here's the number it had to beat. 9.58 seconds set in Berlin in 2009. No human sprinter has come within 0.2 of a second of it since. Beijing's National Speed Skating Oval, built for the 2022 Winter Olympics, hosted the second World Humanoid Robot Games in August 2026. Over 2,000 robots from teams around the world competed across 51 events, from sprinting to soccer to household chores. On one side, 17 years of human athletic evolution. On the other, one very fast piece of Chinese engineering. In the very first heat of the games, 2 robots already broke the human world record. Tiangong Ultra, built by the state-backed Beijing Humanoid Robot Innovation Center, crossed the line in 9.39 seconds. Honor's Lightning robot came in right behind it at 9.47 seconds. Both robots beat Bolt's record before the games had even finished their first day. Robotics experts say the real story isn't the finish time on the clock. This is a significant milestone, not simply because it ran faster than human, but because of what it takes to make a bipedal robot run this fast. And the 100 meters was just the opening act. First, the sprint record fell in a preliminary heat. Then a robot cleared a standing jump beyond the human high jump record. Then it beat elite 400m pace the very next day. 2 Chinese robots, 2 different companies, one very fast week. Tiangong Ultra from the state-backed Beijing Humanoid Robot Innovation Center took the win. Lightning, built by smartphone maker Honor, had its legs lengthened by 10 centimeters ahead of the games. That's how long it took a machine to run faster than every human being alive in a preliminary heat on the opening day. This wasn't just state media spin. International wire services were on the ground. Reuters reported the 9.39 second time directly from the Beijing venue on August 22nd. The report noted China has promoted humanoid robots as a strategic emerging industry. Global outlets, including CBS and NBC, independently covered the footage. The games featured 51 events far beyond athletics, including tasks meant to mimic real jobs. Lightning's 9.47-second run made Honor, better known for smartphones, a serious name in competitive robotics overnight. Backed by state investment Xiaomi UB Tech and Baidu, this Beijing lab built Tiangong Ultra, the robot behind every record set that week. None of this is happening in a vacuum. Investors are betting billions on it. Shares in Unitree, China's best-known humanoid robot maker, jumped more than 5-fold on its Shanghai trading debut this week. That single-day surge gave the company a market value of roughly $50 billion. Running in a straight line with no fatigue, no false start rules, and no drug testing isn't the same competition Bolt ran in. The robot's own reporting on the standing high jump compared a jump with no run-up to a human record set with a full sprint approach. Beating a time on a stopwatch is not the same as beating a sport. Still, going from 21.5 seconds a year ago to under 9 seconds now is a real engineering result, whatever you call it. Associated Press has tweeted on X the following: "Watch. Chinese robot beats Usain Bolt's 100-meter world record on the opening day of the World Humanoid Robot Games in Beijing." Tech Skeptic has tweeted on X the following: "Cool, it ran fast in a straight line and then face-planted into a crash mat. Call me when it can cross a street." The split reaction sums up the whole story. Genuinely impressive hardware wrapped in a comparison that oversells what actually happened. We put the question to our audience. 34% said a fast time is a fast time regardless of who or what said it. 66% said comparing a motor-driven machine to a human athlete misses the point entirely. Either way, the engineering behind the number is what's driving the real investment. The 100-meter sprint wasn't a one-off. Over the following days, the same robotics lab kept rewriting the record books. The day after the sprint record, a 400-meter record fell too. Tiangong Ultra ran the 400 meters in 38.15 seconds, comfortably inside Wade van Niekerk's human world record of 43.03 seconds. Van Niekerk's 400-meter world record has stood since the 2016 Rio Olympics. A robot beat it by nearly 5 seconds. A separate robot from the same Beijing lab managed a 2.88-meter standing jump with no run-up at all. A year earlier, the same event's winning jump was just 0.95 meters. That's the height a robot cleared from a standing position with no run-up whatsoever. Sotomayor's 2.45-meter high jump world record set in 1993 with a full running approach is the benchmark organizers used for comparison. The jump numbers show the pace of change better than almost anything else at these games. Last year's winning standing jump was just 0.95 meters. This year, the winning jump nearly tripled to 2.88 meters. Even the outlets reporting these records added a footnote most readers skip. Comparing robots directly with human athletes is not exactly fair. The half-marathon numbers are the most dramatic jump of all. In the first Beijing half-marathon with robots, Tiangong Ultra needed 2 hours and 40 minutes, more than double the human winner's time. 1 year later, Honor's Lightning posted a net time of 50 minutes 26 seconds. Developers say faster than elite human world record pace. No event improved faster in 12 months than the half-marathon. In 2025, Tiangong Ultra needed 160 minutes to finish well behind the human field. The human winner that same day finished in just 62 minutes. By 2026, Lightning's net time had dropped to roughly 50.5 minutes. By the closing final, the record had dropped even further. Global Times reported Tiangong Ultra won the 100-meter large group final in 8.64 seconds on August 26th. That beat its own repechage mark of 8.86 seconds set earlier the same week. Organizers confirmed Tiangong had rewritten the 100m mark of these games twice before the final. Here's the entire timeline of the 100-meter record in one place. A year ago, the winning 100m time at these games was 21.5 seconds. This year's preliminary heat alone dropped that to 9.39 seconds. The repechage brought it down further to 8.86 seconds. And the final result was 8.64 seconds, nearly a full second faster than Bolt's human world record. For every record set, there was a robot that fell apart, tipped over, or had to be carried off the track. The robot that beat Bolt isn't a scrappy startup project. It's a state-backed venture. 2 state-owned enterprises hold a combined 43% of the robotics center behind Tiangong Ultra. The rest is split between Xiaomi's robotics arm and UB Tech, with further backing from the Beijing AI Industry Investment Fund and Baidu. This is a national industrial strategy dressed up as a sporting event. China is using record-breaking headlines to drive investor confidence, and it worked. Unitree's IPO tells that story better than any race time. The speed is real. The control problem is also real, and control is the harder engineering problem to solve. Expect the next 12 months to be about robots that can stop safely, not just run fast. Petapixel has tweeted on X the following. Unlike Bolt, the humanoids struggled to slow down after crossing the line. Startup Fortune has tweeted on X the following. China's humanoid robot boom has solved speed long before it saw control. The consensus outside the hype cycle is simple. The sprint is the easy part. Stopping cleanly is the actual engineering milestone still unsolved. One final question for the comment section. 41% of viewers think a real Olympic-style robot category is coming within 10 years. 59% think this stays a corporate showcase, not a sport. Either way, the World Humanoid Robot Federation has already confirmed there will be a third games. One robotics lab 1 year and a 100-meter time that dropped by nearly 13 seconds. That's the number that actually matters here.